Maybe an important start is welcome, and secondly, I know who you are. A lot of people will know who you are, but maybe for the newer ones in our community, why don't you introduce yourself first?
Yep, I'm Maddie, or also known as Me4502. I've been in the Minecraft community for a very long time at this point, honestly. I think just over half my life, which is really weird to think about. Um, and yeah, I'm currently a developer for World Edit, World Guard, and Craftbook, and I've been involved in a lot of different things over the years.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit. Half your life. It was one of the questions written down, right? How long have you been in the Minecraft sphere? That's a long, long time. How did you experience that?
Um, So, like, how did I get into the
Yeah, how did you
space?
get in,
Or
and how was your experience being in the space for so long? Because recently we've seen a lot of people move on from Minecraft. It's a clarifying take to see someone who has been in for half their lives, they say, to be in the Minecraft space.
yeah, yeah. So I joined probably 2011, so 14 years ago, and I'm 27, so that is, yes, just
Oh
over half my
boy,
life. Uh,
I feel old as well.
um, but yeah. So I don't know if many people are aware of it, but the game, the Powder Toy, I was pretty into that back in 2010, and they started or at least people in the community started a Minecraft server, and I kind of just got into that and like writing stuff for that, and yeah, it just kind of spiraled out from there. I just started playing on different servers and helping them develop their plugins, and then started my own server and got really into Craftbook, but it was kind of semi abandoned at that point in time.
Yeah.
So I just basically went to SK89Q, who was he's the creator of World Edit, World Guard, Craftbook, etc., and basically just said, "Hey, I want to work on this. It seems like no one is," and he just, for some reason, after I think like a day of talking to him, just gave me edit access to the GitHub, and yeah, here I am, 14 years later.
Jesus Christ. Okay, here's the keys to the kingdom. Have fun. Uh, that's one way to do it. Cause yeah, that was going to be my next question as well. Like, how did you get into position? Because you say he was the creator of World Guard, World Edit, and Craftbook. I think the first two are unanimously known throughout the Minecraft space. How did you get into the position of now being, I suppose, the maintainer or one of the maintainers of all those three projects and many more?
Um, so I guess like in 2011 when I started working on Craftbook, I pretty much just stayed on that project. But like every so often, I would make a small change here or there to the others. But I was mainly on Craftbook. It is probably, yeah, it's a plugin that I still care about deeply, despite
Yeah.
it not being as popular as it used to be. Um, but in I think it was 2017 or 2018 when the 1.13 update happened. Um, it just required a lot of work to
Mhm.
actually get up to date for, and I guess no one else was really going to do it, so I just
Yeah.
kind of did it because I had edit access to all of the plugins by that point.
Hmm.
And then once I did that, it just kind of continued, I guess.
I would say continued for a few years. Yeah.
Yeah, like I guess there wasn't like a formal process or anything. It's just SK had kind of lost interest in the project many years prior. So large changes were kind of up to like other maintainers to do. And there's three of us now working on World Edit,
Yeah.
like in our free time. And yeah, so basically just big change was required. So we just kind of took the lead and did it.
I mean, why not? If I'm not mistaken, because I just googled that real quick. SK was he also behind HMod at the time, or was it someone else?
uh, no, so
Yeah.
Hey Zero was the
Yeah.
creator of
Right.
HMod.
Yeah.
SK was one of the initial Bucket team members, but
Yeah.
he did not stay with the Bucket project for too long.
Okay. Yeah. Because that name just ring the bell somewhere, which hasn't previous. So sorry for throwing that in there so randomly.
Yep,
But
okay.
yeah. It's amazing to me to see that you can just like grow into a position like that for just doing your work, right? Because you said at the time people lost interest, you just took over. To be frank, you just took over, especially with 1.13. That was a large update for a lot of people, and we'll dive into that in a little bit. But yeah, you've been at the helm, I would say, for a while now. Minecraft has evolved. And even before you were in the helm, we just mentioned it, HMod, that transitioned into Bucket. Then Buckets got DMCA, that evolved into, well, Spigots, then evolved into the main stay. And then Paper, you were also involved in Sponge. How how did you experience at the time the evolution of multiplayer Minecraft?
So I feel like it was very like looking back on it now, it just feels it's so weird to think about how quickly everything, all of the big changes happened, like in comparison to just the whole like timeline of Minecraft history.
Mm-hmm.
Like HMod to Paper was basically within 2010 to 2014, or maybe 2015 for Paper, but it really didn't feel like it was such a compact amount of time at the time.
Yeah.
Like it felt like Bucket was around forever. Um, I started like right at the end of HMod, so I'm probably not super like as familiar with that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like it definitely felt a lot more yeah, the community was in its infancy, I guess. There was a lot
Yeah.
of changes, a lot happening, and yeah, it's so weird to look back on it and just think of like how little time that was.
Yeah, it's a very compact set of events, right? Because I think, like you said, it was like 4 years until Paper arrived to the scene. Um, Speaking of which, like, if we look back even further, the first ever mod for Minecraft was a multiplayer mod called LlamaCraft, and that was created like 12 to 24 hours after multiplayer first ever released on the scene. So it's always been in Minecraft's thing for rapid development. Uh, but I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
you lived through those moments. Are there any bigger moments that you feel the Minecraft community kind of forgot about or should be talked more often about?
Um, it's not exactly a big moment, but I have always the one project that feels like it's been lost to time that I absolutely loved at the time and still do. Uh, I mean, I haven't used it in probably 13 years,
Oh
but
boy,
like I loved this project. I don't know if you remember it, but Spoutcraft.
I do.
Um, yeah, like it, or Bucket Contrib as it was initially called. It
Yeah.
was a very like innovative project for its time. It probably isn't as necessary now as it once was, just with how like powerful data packs can be,
Oh
shaders,
yeah.
etc. They can do crazy things from the server. But yeah, I feel like Spoutcraft was super cool and people just don't talk about it at all anymore.
Would you like to use it again? Because I happen to be a team lead at Respouted.
Oh, I was not
I
aware of
I
that.
I literally I found out about Spoutcraft at like doing one of those
Mm.
iceberg videos early on in my career, and I was like, this is a cool project. I need this injected into my veins now. And I got together with a few people. I talked to some original devs. I tried to get, because the GitHub right now is decrepit. You can download it, but it won't actually work. So what we did is we took that, added in retro MCP, and tried to remake it as close as possible. And it's now a fully functioning launcher again for 1.6.4. So if you want to be nostalgic. And we're now doing a modern take on it. But that's like a personal tangent. I just find it hilarious that you brought up Spoutcraft, because that's one of
Mm.
my favorite things ever. Uh,
Nice, yeah.
you and me have emailed a lot, like 11 emails, I think, at this point. It's been a while. There's also been like a year of delay and a few weeks of my part on that. My apologies for that. But and you mentioned it before, right? There was a major rework necessary for 1.13. A lot of creators have pointed this out to me over the years. Could you maybe elaborate on what those major issues were at the time?
Yeah, so it was kind of the first big step. Because Mojang had been kind of I'll repronounce that as Mojang. I got into the habit of saying Mojang like back in 2011,
Oh
and I
boy,
have never gotten out of it. Um, so
fine.
Mojang have been uh, they've been basically remaking large parts of the underlying game engine, I guess, to basically, from what it seems, allow a lot more like custom content, data packs, etc. And a big step of that was kind of getting rid of the previous system they had where there was like block IDs and
Yeah.
like block data values, because those kind of just heavily limited like future block expansion. Like you'll notice after it came out, they just added so many blocks
Oh
to the
yeah.
game. Um, but also like it really messed up modability. So because like World Edit works with blocks, a complete restructuring of how blocks function inherently kind of,
Yeah.
mixes things up there a little bit.
Small
So,
bit.
um, yeah, like we basically just had to go through and rewrite the system to use the new like block IDs that are strings instead of the numbers, and the whole block property system where like um, signs have like the facing property and
Yeah.
stuff like that instead of the like data values.
It seems like a massive undertaking if you need to do that for every block, and then now every time they add a block, you have to do it all over again. Um,
So it actually that was kind of one of the benefits, really. Like now everything that has facing properties, it's just a facing property. So
okay.
in the past, if they added a block that could be rotated,
Yeah.
for the rotate command, we would have to add in those data values. But
All
now
right.
it's just like if it has a facing property, change it to this one. So it actually significantly simplified a lot of our code to an extent.
Yeah.
And also it made mod support way better
Oh
because we
yeah. Yeah.
now like just natively support a lot of those modded blocks if they kind of stick within what Minecraft normally does.
Yeah, if they don't break the bank, then I suppose Fabric will then be better because it tried to be vanilla parody kind of stuff, at least in theory. That's interesting take, because mostly other people like IC2, for example, had the same issue but had like different, like they had the same problem but they have different issues. That's more what I meant to say. But it's interesting to see from a mod that actually needs those, as you said, block data to function. Um, but yeah, you've worked on it now for well over a decade. I'm gonna keep rubbing it in. I'm sorry. Um, how has your work on craft book, on world edit and that kind of stuff, and all other projects, how has that affected your career?
Um, I would probably say early on it probably helped to an extent, like having a large project used by many people, even if it's Minecraft related.
Yeah.
Like it does, I guess, help get your foot in the door to an extent. I actually had a cultural interview at a large company back in 2018
Damn.
where the interviewer looked at my resume and saw World Edit on it, and like he was a World Edit fan, so
Oh my
the
god.
interview just basically turned into a discussion about that. Um, and yeah, like I
Awesome.
mean, if the interviewer is a fan of your software, that's probably a good sign.
Oh yeah, for sure. So that was my next question, like an impromptu question. Was World Edit on your resume?
Yes, yep. And I mean, I haven't updated my resume in like 6 years,
No.
so like it still is.
Yeah.
But I would keep it there
Yeah.
anyway, just because it is a big project.
Some would say a staple in a lot of servers in any way than ever. Your well, SK and then now your project has been used, reiterated. Uh, it's a massive name in the Minecraft sphere. So I would I would definitely keep that. Um, Speaking of those iterations, we have of course World Edit itself, but there are other mods that take it and do something else with it. We have fast asynchronous world edit or FAWE, and then we have the more recent Axiom. FAWE had a paid premium plugin. Axiom still has a paid plan. How does that make you feel having a free and open source version available for everyone to know that like they do the same thing eventually? Well, Axiom is a little bit more advanced. They do the same thing, but they charge money for it.
Um, so in general, I guess I consider them a bit different. Like fast async world edit is kind of a fork, so I guess we are intrinsically linked
Yeah.
a bit. But Axiom, like I've had people come in and say, "Oh, like what's it like having a big competitor?" And it's like I don't really see it like that.
Yeah.
But in general, I feel like if their monetization strategy is working, that's good. I in general feel like I know paid mods are like this big scary
Oh
thing.
yeah.
I am not
I can sense it.
inherently against them. But yeah, like something like Axiom's doing, I think does make sense.
Oh yeah.
Like if someone is using it commercially, especially build teams, because they usually basically are making a lot of money directly using that tool. It's not like it's like one small step in the process. It's kind of a large part of what they're doing. Like it's the Photoshop for the photo editor or
Yeah, it's
something like
insane.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so having a commercial license system I think does make sense if you do need to monetize it. And my understanding is Mulberry basically works on it full time.
Yes.
So yeah, like you can't work on it full time if you are not monetizing it. And like with World Edit, we work on it in our spare time, but we do like have donation pages and everything. And with the amount of users World Edit has, I think we have like single digit maybe people on that donation page. So it is not a viable strategy to kind of earn any income.
No, I've said this many times before, and I've had the exact same discussion. I've made a video on Axiom, not that long ago about like it being ULEC compliant and stuff, but that's not relevant. I've made the argument before that we had. I don't know if you're aware of Sodium, one of the biggest
Yep.
mods in existence. Yeah, their developer went homeless. How can you have like 76 million downloads, a donation page, and then go homeless because you don't get any donations? You know what I mean? That's the
Yeah.
sharp reality of paid mods and free mods. I'm an old head. I've always had free stuff available to me. I'm always gonna root and toot for the free stuff. But at the same time, we need to be realistic. And if people need money to survive and they have a large project that everybody uses, just toss them $5. but a lot of people don't do that. Yeah, I'm sorry to put you in the spot about paid mods for that, but like it's an
All
important
good.
it's an important question for a lot of people in the older community as well, because I feel like a lot of people now are coming into a ecosystem that has been built on FOSS, like free and open source software, and now people are trying, because Minecraft has matured, people are trying to make more of a job. It's important to have some more perspective on that. I feel it should be talked about a little
Yeah.
bit more openly.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I am a big proponent of like free open source software, and like, well done at everything is. I just do feel that it would be good if Minecraft had kind of a better monetization strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if what I've always envisioned is, because Modrinth now have their hosting system inbuilt.
Yeah.
If it was like, hey, you got like 10% off your server costs if okay, maybe not that, but like some kind of, you can opt in to give a kickback to the mods that you have
Yeah.
installed on your server through the mod reward system or something like that. Something that's like,
Something recurve,
I
yeah.
guess, yeah.
The issue with that is I know a lot about modern hosting stuff because I've also covered that. There's been some issues, and they're currently partnering with OVH, and I think their overheads are a little bit too high to do that. But
Yeah.
I would totally support that, because you have Essential now, which also has like a lot of criticism for its commercial shop. Like they have like skins and stuff you can buy, and other Essential players can see that, or invite you to your world for free, all that, but only the cosmetics is paid. They recently did a creator kickback program where you can sign up as a mod creator and have your mods be integrated with Essential, making sure that they work multiplayer over like a peer-to-peer connection. I think they use ICE for that, the ICE protocol, and they get a kickback from that. That's one viable way I see of getting a little bit of a market or monetization system in Minecraft, but that's not a popular way to do it, unfortunately. Uh, one question before we go to 7. You mentioned that you work on your spare time. You do work in software development as in your real life as well, real life in your work place of work as well. How do you manage that? Because I've interviewed other people, and one of them was, and it always sticks with me, is the person from Distant Horizons who said, like, I work on Distant Horizons because my main job requires a different set of thinking, and Distant Horizons is in a completely different part of my brain that I have to use, and that keeps me on my toes. How do you not get fatigued from using the same mental faculties for an extended period of time if you work and then come home and work again?
Um, I guess I um I do definitely work on World Edit, etc. a lot less since kind of having a full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
It is like sometimes I am just too drained to work on it, but other times it's like it can be an interesting problem that I'm looking into with World Edit, whereas work might be at that point in time like something that, because I mean, like, professional software engineering is not just programming, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a lot of other things. And it can sometimes just be nice to work on something that you don't need to do like a security audit for,
Oh
or
yeah.
just like, it's, yeah, I guess like it can sometimes be different, but other times, yeah, it can be that I am just too drained to work on it.
Yeah, I can imagine it's fun not to have all the bureaucratic stuff happening to do work, be all let loose to just work on a passion project, which I think World that it is for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I want to talk about your blog for a minute because it has been a huge source of not only inspiration but also a source of information. I think if I need to list a few people who I take my information from, you're on the top because you have been there, you're a first-hand source. uh I always wonder how you find the time to write those articles, work on Worlded, and then, as you say, have a full-time job. How do you manage that? Because that seems like a whole lot of work to just for a little silly block game.
Um, I think with my blog and like the articles that I write, I just like writing is something I enjoy doing.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I just get inspired to write something, and then it is kind of my outlet for that inspiration, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I don't see it as kind of like one of the time commitments. It's kind of like inspiration sparks, and then it's something I enjoy doing. So I don't really see it as a time sink, I guess.
Okay, fair enough. But you seem very passionate about Minecraft history. How important is the history of Minecraft and its preservation for you personally?
Um, so in general, I feel it is pretty easy for stuff like this to become lost. Like if you look up like a lot of games, a lot of the early stuff is lost.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not so much like I know there are projects that are trying to preserve like old versions of Minecraft, old versions of plugins, etc. I think those are good efforts, but it's not exactly where my interests
Yeah.
lie exactly. It's more so that it just kind of it is kind of more so the knowledge side, and just uh yeah, I just like countering misinformation, I guess,
Yeah.
because rumors spread and they're like, "Oh, this was the first plugin." And I'm like, "No, it's not." Um but yeah, cuz when I wrote my big decade of Minecraft survival, which is 5 years old at this point, which feels
I'm
weird.
sorry.
Um yeah, so when I wrote that article, it was honestly just like a random idea of like, hey, we could do this. And I just asked a bunch of people for like extra sourcing of information. And it, I think that's kind of why it became a thing for me.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't really something on my mind before that point. Just people kept, I guess, spreading wrong information about Minecraft's history. I wanted to have a single source that I could cite, that also cited other sources for what happened, and yeah,
Yeah.
it all just came together.
It's an incredible piece of information I've used throughout because my mission is similar. The issue is that I have not been that well entrenched, so I need to rely on firsthand and like testimonials and stuff. For me, one of the bigger examples of misinformation is still the 2012 Bucket DMCA. That it keeps getting reiterated differently every time, and I kind of I have a pet peeve for it. I can't hear that story anymore before I start screaming. Which is why I think what you do is important, and that for me personally is important because misinformation spreads or information gets lost, as you said, and nothing is more annoying than that, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think from the community standpoint, I can say thank you for your service. Um, you will not get retirement anytime soon. Um, you've worked on numerous projects. We've mentioned the big three. You've also worked on HMod at the end. You've worked on Bucket itself. You've worked on Sponge, if I'm not
I,
mistaken.
I never worked on HMod. I
Oh, sorry, my
worked
bad.
on a HMod
Oh,
plugin that never got published.
oh, before they stop. Okay, yeah, sorry. I'll correct myself then. You've worked on Bucket. You've worked on Sponge. You've worked on Paper slash work on Paper, or contributed at some
Yeah,
point.
I submit PRs to paper every so often.
Okay.
Um Yeah, I just to clarify with Bucket,
Yeah.
I just contributed a few random
Oh, okay,
PRs
sure.
here and there. I was never part of the team.
Okay.
Paper, I am one of the moderators.
Okay.
So I am part of the team, but not as a developer.
Okay. But you did work on. I'll just as a
Yeah,
whole.
sorry.
I'll leave the. No, you're right. That's an important clarification. I'll leave those two out of the sphere. I will say. But the important fact for me is like Sponge is also one of my favorite things you've been involved with, if I'm not mistaken. Paper and all those projects. If you uh throughout the years have to name a particular project that you're super proud over of having created it or having contributed to it, what name would that be? What project would you elevate to the stratosphere?
Um, it's probably going to be a surprising answer for most people, but Craftbook definitely
Yeah.
is my favorite thing that I have ever worked on. It is probably like it's the thing that really got me into Minecraft plugin development and still is to me the most interesting plugin. It's less popular these days because its two main users were like technical Minecraft people
Yeah.
and survival servers that just wanted to spice up gameplay a little bit. And technical players now, if you have any form of like mod in your game, it's like the biggest sin.
Oh yeah.
And like I understand that the game is so much more capable now, so you don't need that, and it makes more sense. But and just like standard survival servers are so much less common than they used to be.
Oh yeah. Um, can you put a finger on why Craft Bucket is then so important to you? Is it just the sentimental value of like it got you into it, or is it just like the technology behind it is cool to you, or
So Craftbook, I'm not sure if you're familiar with that plugin,
I
but
am slightly.
yeah, so it basically um to me it kind of just is about like making fancy redstone contraptions like automations and stuff like that, and it just, I guess it's when I played Minecraft, because I haven't played the game in 11 years,
Same.
which also surprises a lot of people. um it basically just kind of scratched the itch that I just like needed to get into the game.
Mm-hmm.
It just filled in the gaps for what I enjoyed.
Yeah. I think I can understand. It's like a little bit of a it's your particular stuff you wanted in the game that you got to contribute to and put into game yourself.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing to do. Not many people can, so they should get the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
Um
And also, oh, sorry.
yeah, well, no, go ahead.
I guess also just in terms of when I was working on it, like I spent like 2011 through probably 2017 working on it, and that is kind of when I was learning to program.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like my big project while I was learning. Sorry, yeah. While I was going through school, while I was like, yes, like it was just kind of like my first big project, I guess, and it was very big for me at a time that I guess was formative.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's like a little bit of an anchor, right? That got through you your years at school and learning, because I don't know if you went to school for software engineering or any of that.
Yep. So yeah, that I meant like years like 1 through 12, like primary and like high school.
Yeah.
And then what World Edit was kind of when I went through like my software engineering course.
Okay.
That was kind of World Edit by that point.
That's awesome. But it's important for a lot of people to have that anchor, like pulling you through those years. It makes sense then that's your pick, your favorite project. Um, but there are a lot of people still coming into the modding slash plugin making scene. You're a veteran at this point. I said I was gonna keep rubbing it in. I am. What is like a good piece of advice you would give to new people, or even a younger you, just anyone that comes up to me like, I wanna create mods, I wanna create plugins. What's a good advice you would give to them?
Um, I kind of have two things, if
Go
that's
ahead.
okay.
That's fine.
Um, so like I have like a generalized piece of advice, and then I also have something that I think like young me really needed to hear.
Yeah.
So firstly, I don't think it's ever too late for a new plugin to become massive. Like so many times plugins have just like died out a bit and then been overtaken. Like Luck Perms, which is like the only permissions plugin
Oh
people
yeah.
use at this point. There have been so many. There was like there was Niji Kokun's permissions plugin. I hope I
Permission
pronounced his
X.
name correctly there.
Yeah.
Yeah, permissions X. There was B permissions. There was I mean Essentials Group Manager.
Oh yeah.
Uh, yeah, there's like so many that have been around over the years. And like Luck Perms is a late comer to it. Yeah, and like even in the like I think Core Protect now is kind of like it wasn't always. There was like Logblock, there was I'm pretty sure a plugin called Prism, and there's also a plugin called Prism at the moment, and I'm not sure if they're related
I
or
don't
if
know.
like it's a yeah.
I have no clue. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, but like basically um yeah, don't let the existence of like the fact that there are already a lot of big plugins stop you from making something new and innovative. And then I guess onto the second piece of advice, which young me really needed to hear, is don't just add everything. Like have a plan, have like a cohesive like plan for what this plugin should do.
Mm-hmm.
If someone comes to you and says, "Hey, I wish it would do this," you don't need to listen to every single person. Like I kind of struggle to say no to things. So I
Mm-hmm.
would just have people coming and saying, "Oh, why doesn't Craftbook do this?" And then I would just add it. And then I had like a configuration file that was so complicated and all these like behaviors that just did not make sense together just because people always want really niche things and
Uh-huh.
you need to just learn to like say no and stick to your plugins like plan and core like what's the word like its
Identity.
core purpose, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah, like its core purpose and identity.
Yeah. I understand that, especially like if you want to please people, but you can't please everyone. That's
Yeah,
an important lesson.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly. Yeah.
I think that's all my questions. I don't know if you want to add something to that or say something before we start. I hit the stop recording button here.
No, I don't think I have anything. I guess thanks for uh this interview. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I should thank you for your time once again, and I'll stop the recording